Welcome to Culture Screen, where we analyze culture. In this episode, we are summarizing the first episode from Season 4 of the Sopranos series titled For All Debts Public and Private. The episode first aired on September 15th, 2002. In the beginning, AJ has returned to school after being expelled and transferred to another private school, but he is not improving academically. AJ is not interested in completing his school reading assignments. Tony scolds AJ for being so lazy and smacks him across the back of the head when he attempts to respond to Tony again. Christopher is ready to drive Tony to a meeting. Carmela is a bit disappointed that Furio didn't come to pick up Tony like he usually does. When Tony is in the car with Chris, he tells Christopher that his father was an accomplished member of the crime family. Tony insists that Chris's father was a feared hitman. Although these are compliments, we see Christopher is a bit annoyed. As soon as Tony and Junior arrive at the doctor's office, Tony smiles as Uncle Junior flirts with an attractive young nurse. Junior asks for more money to aid with his legal bills during their meeting, but Tony refuses because he too is suffering financially due to a few losses in his crew. Junior then tells Tony that he wants to have Bobby Bacala, his assistant, become a made guy. And of course, Tony approves Junior's request. When Christopher returns home to Adriana, we see he ignores her new friend Danielle. We know Danielle is an undercover FBI agent named Deborah Cicerone. Chris, however, does not register her presence and continues complaining about Tony's treatment of him. Christopher believes his demotion to that of driver is a result of him questioning Tony's judgment and leadership after Jackie Jr. robbed their card game. Moments later, Christopher goes back to using heroin. Carmela notices Angie Bompensero at a supermarket handing out food samples, which causes her to become more concerned about her finances. Carmela goes on to ask Tony for money for a real estate property she would like to invest in. Tony says it would be difficult for him to come up with a large amount of cash at the moment because he does not keep cash around the house anymore. Carmela sits down with Tony and asks him what would happen to her, Meadow, and AJ if he were to be arrested or even murdered. Tony tells Carmela that she would be taken care of. Carmela reminds Tony that nothing lasts forever. This comment makes Tony very upset. Because Ralph Cifaretto is still forbidden from entering the Bada Bing, Tony, Silvio, and Chris go to a warehouse facility near the Bada Bing so all the captains, including Ralph, can meet with Tony. Tony scolds his captains, Albert Baris, Ralph Cifaretto, Ray Curto, and Carlo Gervasi, for the family's financial dilemma. Tony brings up Junior's rising legal fees and their inability to support him financially as a utter disgrace. Remember, I am summarizing the entire series, so subscribe and click on the notification bell to be reminded when I upload the next episode. I will be reviewing other TV shows and movies as well, so let me know what your favorite TV show and movie is so I can summarize it in the future. Doing these two things helps my channel out tremendously. Thank you for your support. Despite the fact that it is duck migration season, Tony buys duck feed and hides his money in the bird feeder. He meets up with Assemblyman Ronald Zellman in a nearby restaurant to discuss their potential business with the Esplanade. Tony recalls Junior owning a property on Frelinghuysen Avenue when Zellman tells him of how optimistic he is about the properties surrounding the Esplanade site and their potential value. Zellman tells Tony that those properties will rise in value shortly after the construction begins. When Tony meets with Junior, he says he wants to buy the warehouse to assist Junior with his legal fees. Of course, Tony does not disclose the tip he received from Zellman. Later on, when Junior asks the nurse out on a date, she tells him she is leaving Dr. Shrek's office. This crushes Junior, especially since seeing the nurse was a large source of his happiness during those doctor visits. Carmela throws a dinner party. Rosalie and Ralph are invited against Tony's wishes since Rosalie is still mourning her son's loss. Ralph starts retelling stories about street racing in front of AJ and his friends until Tony interrupts him. Ralph heads to the bathroom and Janice follows him. They do drugs and mess around in the bathroom. Adriana arrives and brings Danielle with her. Danielle wastes little time and introduces herself to Tony. While all this is unfolding, Tony notices both Janice and Ralph have been gone a long time. Carmine Lupertazzi, the New York mob boss, sits down with Tony and his captains. Tony, this time, lets Chris participate in the meeting. Tony knocks on the door late at night, and we see Chris smoking drugs on the toilet with a woman. Tony tells Chris that they are going for a drive. Chris is still upset that he has been demoted to a driver and he does not know where they are going. Tony guides Chris to a Hooters restaurant. Inside, Tony says, is the police officer who killed Chris's father. The officer's name is Barry Hido, and he is celebrating his retirement. Tony discloses that Hido is the one who assassinated Christopher's father, Dickie Moltisanti. Tony explains he was left alive all this time because he was useful as a police officer. Tony orders Christopher to take out the retired officer. Christopher arrives to Hido's house and knocks him out before handcuffing him to his staircase. A drunken Christopher questions Hido about his father. Hido, of course, denies everything. Christopher begins to question whether he should proceed with the hit or not. However, Chris decides that even if Hido is not his father's murderer, Tony wants him gone regardless. Before Christopher shoots Hido, he breaks free from his handcuffs and tells Chris that he is sorry. While Hido is killed, Tony is eating with Bobby Bacala and discussing his recent promotion. Bobby is delighted that he is about to be made. Junior receives a call from his lawyer. The lawyer informs Junior of an FBI mole in Dr. Shrek's office. The following morning, Tony and Bobby pay a visit to Junior. Junior is convinced the nurse he was flirting with was the FBI mole all along. This throws Junior into a deep depression, and he tells Tony that he is just an old man heading to prison after all. Tony claims that Junior's statements brought everything into perspective for him during a therapy session with Dr. Melfi. Tony is open to the possible outcomes he will likely face due to his life as a mafioso. Tony goes on to state that the higher the rank of a mafioso, the more likely he will be killed or spend the rest of his life in prison. To protect himself from the dangers of being the boss, he then adds that he plans to rely solely on his family. Tony decides that he will begin placing all his directives and commands through his nephew, Christopher. Meanwhile, Christopher visits his mother's house and places the $20 bill he stole from Hido's wallet on his mother's refrigerator. That was episode 40, titled For All Debts Public and Private. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. If you enjoyed the summary, consider clicking like. It goes a long way toward helping me grow this channel. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Oh, this is my friend Danielle Ciccolella. This is Christopher's cousin Tony.
We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.